Hello everybody and welcome to the Chrissy B Show. Now we do have a lovely show in store for you today as usual, and I'd like to introduce you first of all to Ian and Helena.
Hello.
Hello
Chrissy.
Hello.
Hello Chrissy, how are you?
Oh, you're chirpy
Looking
today.
Very vibrant today.
Thank you. Actually, Helena, I have to say I've been complimenting Helena on her look today because I think she looks gorgeous.
But so do you as well. Look at this.
Like
I love it.
style.
Thank you.
She suits red, doesn't she?
It works well.
Well, shall we stop talking about ourselves?
Yeah.
Then? What else?
No, why? Come on.
It's always fun.
Now I'll be speaking to Garth Delikan today. Now he had it all: a great career, beautiful wife and kids, a nice house, his and her cars, motorbike holidays, you name it, he had it. But one day his world fell apart, and he's going to be telling us all about that later on. But he has bounced back, which is the great thing. Good. And also on today's show we'll talk to Naughty Boy, who of course wrote and produced the song La La La. Do you guys know the song? You must do.
La 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 la. No.
Not quite, no, but all right, Helena.
Okay,
That's the Greek version.
It might
You
be.
normally smash the plates with that version.
I was feeling really chuffed there.
No, you're going to hear it afterwards, just see. And the good thing is he's going to be telling us about his new track as well. And we'll also learn how to make an easy but yummy goodness pot with Hannah Richards. It's hard to say that one. And also we're going to learn how to live a life of purpose with self-development coach Chris Browne. And also take a look at our fitness tip with Jane Rafter on what to eat before and after a workout. And of course I'll be answering a question from a viewer. So let's get straight to the news. We've got loads to do today.
I think lots and lots.
I think first of all, we're just going to talk very briefly. The whole of this week obviously is memorial to World War I. The royal family are out in force this week. They're all hoping William's message over the past few days and the next few days, we're told, is please do not have any more wars like this ever again, that this is what the European Union was all about, to actually bring the former warring countries together. And so it's I think sort of shows like this, I'm sure, want to commemorate the people who did give their lives.
I think between 10 and
peace.
11 tomorrow the lights aren't being switched on.
Okay.
It's just in commemoration, just something small.
All right. Thanks for mentioning that, Ian.
Yes.
That's really good.
Commonwealth Games ended with a
Have
great big bang. No, I
haven't watched anything.
Guess who has been watching it?
No, it finished with a great big bang, which is wonderful, with Lulu singing and Kylie Minogue singing, and it was absolutely fantastic. And England did very, very well. In fact, we got top on the leaderboard. We won most of the medals. So well done. I think it's really great. And Tom Daley got a gold. I think he got a silver in the double diving. I was about to say, Tom Daley, the diver. No. So he's done really, really well. And he's also been voted the hunkiest guy by a certain magazine.
I call him hunky. He's
a
little bit on the slim side, isn't he?
He's quite young, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think to some he probably is.
Yeah.
But so he's doing incredibly well. Oh no, I see him like that too. But I think
shows our age, maybe.
But for the younger ladies,
maybe for
I
the younger
understand.
And there's one that I thought you would appreciate. I've actually gone out of sequence slightly, so Helena's finding what I'm going to talk about now.
Just messed up with the photos as well.
Don't mind. Greek yogurt.
Oh yeah.
My favourite.
Absolutely.
From now on, there's been a new EC ruling. You cannot make Greek yogurt in Britain anymore. The only place where you can make Greek yogurt from now on and call it Greek yogurt is Greece.
So all yogurt made here in the UK.
They've protected it.
What about and Cyprus? Thank you.
Excuse me.
See, you're doing it again.
We make yogurt in the villages in Cyprus too.
Well, it has to be Greece now, they're saying. It's like...
I think that's mad.
It's
it has
like
to be
Cornish
Greece or Cyprus.
pasties.
Come on.
Should we boycott all them?
Yeah, we should.
I just thought I'd throw that one in. I have not made this up. This is true.
You just devastated us, Ian.
EU or something.
This is like putting up...
It makes sense, I suppose, not for Greece and Cyprus, because, it's not really Greek if you make it in England.
Yeah,
absolutely right.
Years and years,
so they've protected. So they've done exactly the same thing. The Greek economy have done exactly the same thing as Cornish pasties, where you can't call a Cornish pasty unless it's made in Cornwall now. Yeah. So they've protected the brand. There you go. So I thought I'd throw that one in.
Gosh, that's going to cause quite a mess everywhere, isn't it? Because imagine the amount of products and things that we say.
Absolutely saying Greek.
Jamaican ginger beer, and you can't say it unless it's made in
Jamaica.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
that's a cool. Whoa. Also, the finale of Prince Harry's Invictus Games coming up, and it's going to be. They're going to celebrate. Everyone's going to celebrate with a 5-hour concert in Queen Elizabeth Park, which is coming up soon. So you can actually buy tickets.
Okay.
And it's everybody. It's going to be, Ellie Goulding, Military Wives, Kaiser Chiefs, Rizzle Sticks. It's a huge, great big celebration. So Yes, I'm hoping to. I haven't got a ticket, but I think yes, it's going to be good fun. And obviously all the sportsmen are going to be there. Brilliant. And Prince Harry says that he hopes to carry on each year doing these games.
That's good.
So good for him. Yeah. We shall see. We'll watch out. Yeah, that's nice.
And super fit Pippa Middleton. You wouldn't think so, but she's quite an iron lady.
Oh, I don't know. I think she looks pretty fit.
Yeah, she is an iron lady. And a true iron lady, because she does these triathlons. And she's done one in America which I think with her brother, wasn't it?
Last month.
Yeah.
She raised,
and she's raised £20,000 for the British Heart Foundation.
Oh, brilliant!
She's a patron of the British Heart Foundation, which is fantastic. And
there you go.
She's auctioning off her bike. Now I think her bike was something like 250,000, so that's going to be auctioned off, and hopefully they'll get twice the price.
Or
no,
just
it's just a
250,000.
I think so.
Wow.
So I read. So I've been told. But
maybe we should go and do a triathlon as well.
I did think that. It did make me think,
if
she can do it, then we can do it. Yeah. You'd have to join in. Mr. Sportsman of the Year.
I'd be in the barrage balloon. I'd be the advert for you.
Oh.
No, pass.
So Brooklyn Beckham, Victoria Beckham's son and David Beckham's son, 15, only 15, has now a sweetheart. I know, he's 15, and his girlfriend Chloe Moretz, who's quite a well-known actress.
He's got a sweetheart at 15?
I know. Come on. She's 17, he's 15. They look very similar facially. I think they just hang out and skateboard.
This was the barista boy, wasn't it?
Yes, all right. Don't let me forget it.
17.
Might be a barrister shortly. You never know. Yes, I know. But anyway, it's quite sweet. But leading on as well, Victoria Beckham, fantastic. I do want to start using it. Bee pollen. Apparently, if you eat bee pollen, it's incredibly good for you. It's got everything in it. Amino acids, protein, it helps skin allergies, it's good for your digestion. Yeah, so... And she's been advocating.
Sort of similar to honey?
Gives you a buzz, doesn't it?
Maybe. Apparently,
you're really on form today, Ian. What's going on?
I don't be sorry. I've just had a bee sting, so I've just had a little bit of... I'm at a rest, yes.
But also the bee pollen has got more than 6 times the amount of protein as beef.
Oh, so, really?
Yeah. So, which is pretty good.
Well, that's really
it's amazing. Obviously very good for vegetarians.
Yeah, definitely.
If there are any vegetarians
out there. Gosh, I'll look into that. Thank you for that.
And I got good reports about Tom Cruise this week. Lauren, the Royal fashion designer, was at Goodwood, and he was there as well, making a flutter, making the ladies flutter as well, as making a sort of a few bets himself. And apparently he won some money, so he was very well pleased. But he's probably one of the best professionals around, actually, because we've noticed as well, even at red carpet premieres, he'll turn up an hour beforehand, just so that all the people who have turned up to see him can do, you know...
I don't know how he fits so much in. I mean, the reason why he was there is he's filming Mission Impossible 5, which has been filmed here, I think in Prague. But he's only just finished filming another film, and he's racing around and... Amazing.
He's got lots of energy,
he's supposed to have a new girlfriend again now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Whisper Hush.
Yeah, he does.
No, that's not a name. No, that was just
the one at Goodwood. No.
Yeah, they're supposed
not
to be...
Not the one that...
Looking at me, I don't know. You're the reporter.
You gave me those knowing eyes.
No, I don't know anything.
It's the way you went...
No, I don't know. Yeah. But that is nice of him. He does always make the effort with his fans and make sure that he goes and talks to them and shakes their hand and takes pictures with them.
It's old Hollywood. You know, a lot of the old stars who I used to work with, they used to do the same thing where they really appreciated their fans, and would also do all sorts of things for them.
They're filming it in Parliament as well. It's the second film that's been given permission to film in Parliament, and they're hoping to raise more money now to keep Parliament running. So. Just one of those little things.
That's it for today.
What?
She always looks... Helen always looks horrified every time I say we've run out of time. You could just talk for the whole hour, couldn't we?
We can go on.
Well, you'll be back next time, won't you?
We're back next time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been great.
We'll look forward to having you on again very soon. Okay, so do stay tuned, because after the break we'll take a look at our fitness tip from Jane, and we'll also be speaking to our guest Garth Delikan, known as the Lifestyle Guy, about his heartache and recovery.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happiest side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to the Chrissy B Show. Now, before I meet my first guest, let's take a look at this fitness tip with Jane on what to eat before and after a workout.
Hi everyone, welcome to your fitness tip on the Chrissy B Show. I'm Jane, and I want to talk to you today about something that a lot of people do ask me about, and that is what they should eat before and after a workout. So I think there's a couple of important points to bear in mind. One is that if you do have a full meal, you need to leave at least 2 hours before you go and work out. Mainly because you're more likely to feel nauseous, to be honest, if you're working out. You want to give it time to digest. So make sure that you leave at least 2 hours after a meal. And if say you're working out in the evening and you've not had anything to eat for several hours, it's ideal to have a small snack, say 2 hours before you work out. So a small snack, I mean a small snack, so something just literally to keep your blood sugars going while you work out. So around about 200 calories or less. So that might be a banana and a yogurt, or some wholemeal toast and peanut butter, or something like that, maybe some nuts and some yogurt. That would be ideal. And the other thing to think about is what to eat after a workout. So in the evening, when you've done your workout, you've gone home, you might be hungry, but bear in mind you don't need a lot of carbohydrates in the evening. Carbohydrates are energy-giving foods. So if you're just going to go home and go to sleep, you don't need physical energy. So you're more likely to put weight on if you start eating too many carbs in the evening. So carbohydrates are your potato, pasta, bread, rice, that type of food. So what I recommend is, if you've had a good workout and you're hungry, increase the protein, because when you've had a workout, your muscles need replenishment. So what they need is extra protein. Have maybe fish or chicken or any other type of protein, eggs, and fill up on salad and vegetables if you can. And if you do have carbohydrates, have less, especially if it's late at night. No one should go to bed hungry. I never advocate going to bed hungry. That's unnecessary. Even if you want to lose weight, you don't need to do that. So fill up on your protein and your veg and your salad and fruit and stuff. Okay, so I hope that helps, and I'll see you guys next time.
Welcome back. Thank you very much, Jane. And now we have here with us Garth Delikan. Hello.
Good evening. Hi, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Good.
Now, you've got a big smile right now, but you went through hell at one point, didn't you?
I'll probably still keep my smile, though, to be honest with you.
Really? Or for all of what you went through?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was a while ago, and you kind of go through life and you deal with it, don't you? Yeah. But it was my own Greek tragedy, if you pardon the pun. But it was. I did crash and burn quite spectacularly. I mean, from an early age, I was always quite driven and successful and kind of determined. Yeah. And whatever I kind of went after, I got. But I'm at that kind of I was at that kind of age, you know, when you don't focus on anything, but you really enjoy what you're doing and you love what you're doing. And because I was loving what I was doing, the universe kind of gives you back what you enjoy doing, so you don't have to think about it. So I was just being a freelance graphic designer, earning bags of money at the time for a young man, which was absolutely brilliant, and not even giving it a second thought. So from an early age, I was just having a great time, and I just absolutely loved it, and I loved life. And I was very lucky that I actually met my then wife at the time. I mean, she was very young, and I was very young, but she was literally the love of my life. And we got married within 2 years of meeting.
First one that you personally
She wasn't my first love. No, my first love was a girl I met in Lancashire many years ago. But this girl, when I first met her, I just kind of knew she was the one. She was just absolutely gorgeous. I just fell in love with her. And I had to do a little bit of chasing. She wasn't up for it at first. But she was only 16 when we first met. And we kind of courted for a couple of years, got married when she was 18. And we had a fabulous marriage. You know, for many years. We were married for about 22 years, and it was just great. Because I was a successful businessman, I guess in brackets there, we just had a really nice time. I didn't think about it, and we were happily married for a long time.
So you had everything that you could dream of, like the holidays, the cars, everything?
It was quite bizarre, yeah, because it just came really naturally. I mean, without kind of showing off for it at all. You know, I bought my first Ferrari when I was was 25. Not because I wanted to show off or anything, but there used to be this TV series.
Well, why not if you can afford it?
I know, and I just used to love it, and it was just a joy. Sometimes it was very sad. I just used to sit in it, turn the key, and watch the needles dance, because it was just a fun thing to do. But there used to be this programme on called The Persuaders in the old days with Tony Curtis and Roger Moore. And Tony Curtis used to drive a Ferrari Dino, and I always wanted one. And then I was just lucky enough to have this money to get a car, and I just bought it. And it was great, and kind of life was just good. We had some nice holidays, and we didn't have children for a long time, so it was just us two. So we were
got quite close then.
Yeah,
really.
we were very close, and we were the archetypal happy couple. And I thought we would be together forever, you know. I was just one of those blokes who didn't see it coming. So we were together for 22 years, but there was a kind of little bit of pressure in life before that kind of happened. So the last 2 years before we kind of split up, I suppose, it wasn't all a bed of roses. And it wasn't problems between us, it was just business wasn't going quite so well, or there was a few pressures in my life, and maybe...
You drifted apart, would you say?
Maybe, and maybe I had a few blinkers on, and life wasn't quite as well, it obviously wasn't as rosy as I thought.
Yeah.
And I worked for a big advertising agency for quite a while, for about 14 years, and got really bored there after a while and decided to leave because I like challenging my life. So I set up my own multimedia agency based in Carnaby Street, and I ran that quite successfully, albeit I thought, for about 2 years. But I got into bed with the wrong partner. This guy seemed to be a good guy at the time, but he turned out to just be a devious little devil, and he just wasn't...
Stabbed you in the back?
Yeah, several times.
Gosh.
And it was only when I found out that the business wasn't doing too well, when he went away on 6 weeks honeymoon, that it just became apparent. I just kept getting all these calls just saying, when are you paying this invoice, when are you paying that bill? And I signed the checks for them weeks previously. So I thought, this is really bizarre, there's something going on here. So he was causing a lot of trouble not between me and my ex at the time, but it was causing a lot of pressure in our life because it just wasn't going according to plan. So I think behind the scenes, with hindsight now, that was probably maybe a catalyst for it. And then literally when I knew the company wasn't doing so well, I was telling her about it one day. She said, you know what, I know it's not the best timing in the world, but I've not been in love for a couple of years now, and I don't really want to be married anymore.
Oh my God, so everything
and
once,
that was
really?
it, yeah. And she didn't do it out of spite or anything. It was just one of those things. I think we'd probably just outgrown each other, and she had to escape. So the way I can think of it, really. And I think from that kind of perspective, that point of view...
Can I just ask
Yes.
what was going through your mind when you lost your business and then your wife
I can't tell you, to be honest with you, because she was my rock. She was absolutely my anchor, and she did kind of steady me in life. And a lot of things I did in life was because we were a couple, and our kids were very young at the time as well. I had a son and daughter, so that was a double whammy really. Because literally in 1 week, 1 month, I lost everything that was precious to me. God. So I lost my wife, I lost my home, I lost my children, and I lost my business.
So they went to live with her.
Yeah, basically I had to leave the marital home because he was just very uncomfortable, and. It was just terrible, from kind of being dreadfully in love to being dreadfully still in love, but she wasn't in love with me. So it was difficult. It was a very uncomfortable situation, and it's the first time I've spoken about it publicly. Actually, it's actually quite bizarre. So yeah, that was very, very difficult. So I'd love to say with my skills nowadays that I bounced back from that within a week. But I didn't. There's that old saying, you can't fight a war on two fronts. And if it had just been a divorce, I think maybe I could have dealt with it a little bit better.
Coped with it better.
If it had been just a company liquidation, I could have dealt with it. But all of a sudden, I was in a bad situation at home, and we weren't even speaking at home, which was dreadful. And I had my 2 children now. I was trying to stay brave for the kids because I didn't want them to see any kind of division or anger or anything there, which is very difficult because I was very close to them. Then I was going into the office, and it was just dreadful. It was either a call off my ex's solicitor, wanting whatever, then I'd have a call from my devious little partner, wanting to close the company down, because it was just horrible. And every phone call was just aggro, and it was horrendous. And I was the closest I've been to a physical and mental breakdown, and I just would not want to go there again as long as I lived. It was horrible. How
did you actually get through it then? Because you went through so much, and a lot of people under that pressure would just crack, basically, if they didn't get help.
And I think I was close to cracking. I think that's the closest I've been to a physical and mental breakdown, and it's the only way I can describe it, because I was lost, because the anchor I had in my life was gone. Somebody I would turn to and just confide in just wasn't there anymore. It just wasn't a figure I could have. And,
did you have any kind of counselling or anything at the time?
No, because I just thought I would bounce back from it, because I've always been quite resilient, and I thought I'll be down for a little bit, but maybe because of the pressure we were going through at the time, she might kind of come round in a little while once we get the company settled, but it just wasn't meant to be. And I found out after a short while that I was suffering from clinical depression as well, which was horrendous. I never knew the extent of clinical depression until you actually have it.
It's awful.
Oh, it's dreadful. And that can couple with anxiety, and it was dreadful. And I would love to say I bounced back, but I didn't. It took me about 1.5 years, 2 years. And I had to go and live with my mum.
You went back to live with your mum?
I had to go and live with
What
my
was that like, just before we go to the break, what was that like? Because I'm going to have to keep you on for the second part, the next part as well, so we're not going to get enough.
No, it's absolutely fabulous. At first, it just seemed a little bit strange, but I think you need a bit of mum love sometimes, and I had kind of nowhere else to go, and she did look after me, and it was like...
It's good that you get on well then.
Yeah, I was kind of like being a little boy again, really, and I almost needed that because I was broken. I was, people would look at me, and I felt like bursting into tears. I couldn't think straight. There was no way I could go back into business again, so I was unemployed for quite a while.
Okay.
So it was a dreadful place to be, but it was nice because I had my mum to look after me.
Garth, you're going to stay on with us because after the break, we do have some other things after the break, but I'd love to hear how you recovered and also what you're doing today because you're now known as the lifestyle guy.
I am.
You are, right? Okay,
absolutely.
So do join us after this.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back. Now, we did promise you our interview with Naughty Boy, which we're going to show you in just a couple of minutes. But first of all, let's go to this nutritional cooking tip on how to make goddess goodness pots with Hannah Richards.
Hello and welcome. My name's Hannah Richards and this is the Move 360 kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make 2 different goddess goodness pots. You can make them the night before, so you've got them ready for breakfast in the morning, or you can make them in the morning. The base is an oat. These are gluten-free oats. This is some sheep's yogurt. So I've decided to make these sort of cow's dairy free. So first of all, I'm going to put some oats into these pots here, like that. Just going to soak them for a little bit with some almond milk. Not too much, just to cover the oats. So I'm just going to whisk that up a bit to make it a nice consistency. I'm going to make 1 a blueberry pot and 1 raspberry. So I'm going to put a layer of raspberries in there, a layer of blueberries in here. Then a layer of this yummy sheep's yogurt on top. So you've got a good source of protein there and some fat. It's important to get all your macronutrients in at every meal. Your 3 macronutrients being fat, protein and carbohydrate. Now here I've got a little mix of sunflower, pumpkin and flax. And I'm going to sprinkle that over the top of each one. I'm going to do another layer of our raspberries in one and our blueberries in the other. I'm going to sprinkle some super goji berries on top of each of them, a superfood, and topped off by a little bit of bee pollen for some sweetness. Not forgetting our morning mint for some colour, for some freshness. And there you go. Another super breakfast in less than 2 minutes. Why wouldn't you?
That looked delicious. And then we have the bee pollen that Helena was talking about earlier. Okay, so we're going to go back to Garth in just a moment. But first of all, let's take a look at this interview with Naughty Boy.
Today I've come down to central London. Right now I'm standing outside the Broadcast Centre, about to go inside and speak to Watford-born producer and songwriter Zahid Naughty Boy Khan. You're DJ, songwriter, producer.
Yeah. DJ last.
DJ last. Yeah. Okay. What do you prefer the most? What do you enjoy the most?
Definitely the studio, the creative part of it, writing songs and just being musical. I enjoy performing and doing promo and everything, but I still, without the music, I can't. There's nothing to talk about basically. So that's my favourite bit.
So you produced 2 top 10 records for Chipmunk and Wiley. And they were in the charts. How does it feel to have tunes in the top 10?
No, it feels good. I mean, those were my first 2. So I think to have your first 2 songs go top 10. But I think when La 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 went to #1, I think that's when it changed everything. As if that was my first #1. So.
Now, you obviously like to work with Emily.
Oh, I love working with Emily.
When you sort of met her, and when she was studying in Glasgow or something, and then you flew her down, and then you got in the car and you started recording something in the car or something.
Yeah, Daddy was one of the first songs we done. The song on her album, and she'd fly down to Luton Airport and I'd pick her up, and then we'd write music in the car because we didn't have our own studio then. So, but I love that we had that little journey of not having much, and then
so it's like a bit of you had a journey together.
Yeah, but I think that's important. I don't think either of us can have that again with anyone, because it's when you have nothing, that's when you have
to be really creative as well, isn't it?
Definitely. And we would sleep on the studio floor and stuff like that, stuff that we wouldn't have to do now, but it's good to have shared that.
So your tune at the moment?
Home.
Yep, Home featuring Sam. So that's just been released.
Yeah, it's out this week. There's a remix with Preps and Conan as well. It's really just closure of the album. It's a new song that's going on the album, and I think it just brings my campaign to kind of an end, and just get ready for the next stage.
Do you think that music is very powerful for people who are maybe going through a difficult patch, making it or listening to it?
Oh, definitely. I think making it, you make different kinds of music based on your mood. So I do make sad songs when I'm upset, or happy songs, but I think you have to react to your emotion, and I think people listen to songs like that. That's why certain songs become wedding songs, some become funeral songs. Those are the songs I want to make, not in a dark way, but I just want to make songs that actually affect people's mood or could make them feel better.
How do you get your kicks in life?
By being a naughty boy. No, I think, to be honest, I do love traveling the world. Like right now, last year I've seen every continent apart from South America, and I've been there because of my work. I was #1 in 43 countries last year, and that meant that I could visit all these places that I would never have visited. And yeah, and to be honest, you're going to these different places performing the same music, and that's powerful because they don't all speak the same languages, and then I'm getting to see amazing places. So yeah, that is the kick at the moment.
And does it make you happy, music?
Oh yeah, definitely. I haven't worked a day in my life for the last 6 years. My last real job was delivering pizzas. So yeah, it's
important to do what you want to do.
Yeah, and it's important to know what you don't want to be, because I wasn't a good pizza delivery driver.
So that was great chatting to Naughty Boy, and we've learned something new about him, that he used to be a pizza delivery boy. So in this case, it was good that he gave up his day job.
Great interview, thank you very much. Now back to Garth.
Hi again.
Now we covered quite a bit on the previous part, but there is quite a lot to talk about. But tragedy. It was really bad what you went through. It was terrible.
It was bad. I mean, it was a while ago though, so you kind of learned to live with it and move on.
Yeah, but how did you move on?
It was kind of good really, because I didn't know what I wanted to do for quite a while, because I knew what I didn't want to do. I didn't want to go back into the corporate world again, so I didn't want to go into advertising again as long as I lived. So all my life, ever since I was in my 20s, I've always worked out. So whether it was weight training or kickboxing, I found it was just like my place to go. It's my nice place to be. Yeah. And whenever I trained, I felt really good. So I thought, well, how can I do something with this? So I decided to teach kickboxing. So I taught that commercially. Teach kickboxing. Okay. So I taught in every major gym in London for quite a few years. And I just loved the feedback I was getting with people. And it was kind of just what I needed, because I love being around people. And I guess I like being centre of attention a little bit as well. So
well, you should admit it.
And that went quite well. But a lot of people kept asking me, can I do some personal training with you? And I could do kickboxing training with them. I couldn't do PT with them. So I decided to go back to college and become a personal trainer. While I was there, I also became a nutritionist. And when I came out of college, the very first client I got was a quite well-known psychotherapist in Kensington. And she just loved me, and I just used to beast her. They used to call me the Beast, all my clients. And she saw the correlation immediately with kind of emotional well-being and physical well-being. She goes, look, I'll tell you what, she goes, I'll stick some clients your way, and if you do as good a job with them as you have with me, it'd be awesome. So I had a fantastic client base around Kensington.
So you actually saw doors opening because you were actually going out there and doing something, because if you'd stayed in that rut and
nothing would have
depressed
happened.
and at home doing nothing,
I would have died.
Nothing would have happened.
No, because emotionally I was kind of dead, so I kind of knew. I still had an ember in me, there was still a spark there.
Did you find that you were actually pushing yourself though, like the times that you didn't feel like doing stuff, but you actually had to push yourself?
Absolutely, because I don't know if you know about clinical depression, but,
yes, I was depressed.
Yeah, it's tough. It's the toughest gig in the world, and even just getting your carcass out of bed in the morning is really difficult. So yeah, it was tough, but once I started moving, physical exercise is the best thing for it, and I refused to take medication because I don't want to be on it. So the kickboxing was absolutely brilliant. It brought me out of myself again.
We've got about 40 seconds, Garth.
Good. Yeah.
Tell us about the lifestyle coaching.
Yeah, so when you're a PT to people, you're also a confidant to everything that's good or bad in their lives. Even though I felt as though I had the experience to do it, I didn't feel as though I had the skills, so I decided to become a life coach, got into NLP, and that just led into corporate workshops. So I was doing stuff on personal safety, I was doing stuff on confidence building, body language, rapport, lifestyle, nutrition.
Now I do have to ask you about your love life now. Has it put, what you went through, has it put you off finding love? Have you found a love?
No, I haven't found a love. I'm still out there looking. So
okay,
no, I love being in love. Yeah, it's one of the nicest feelings in the world. Just having that kind of bond with somebody and being in a loving relationship, I think is lovely. And if I could find that again, which I'm sure I will.
I'm sure you will too.
I'm ready for it.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much, Garth, for sharing
Thank you so much for inviting me.
I love what you're doing today. It's
Thanks
great.
a lot.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Okay, so do stay tuned, because after the break, I'll be answering a question from a viewer and also speaking to Chris Browne with the Self-Development Clinic.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back, and now it's time for the Self-Development Clinic with Chris Browne. Hello, Chris.
Hi, Chrissy.
How are you?
I
know
so
you've just come back from Brazil.
He's
just elated. Yeah, he had
I just might combust on the spot.
No, please don't.
Right, okay.
But save it. We're going to answer a question from a viewer first of all, Chris, because this one's from Lorraine. And she says, hi, Chrissy. I really want to be a singer-actress, and a friend got me a foot in the door. Nothing much was happening, so sad to say, I started seeing different guys to try and get noticed for film parts. But it's been a few years now and nothing. In fact, it's gotten worse. No one calls me for even small roles anymore, and I really want to make it. What would you do, Chrissy? Now, Lorraine, I'm going to be really, really honest with you, and I don't know if anyone has been this honest, but I'm going to just speak my mind, and I hope you don't get offended, but it's to help you. Now, perhaps you thought that being with different men would give you some sort of power or head start, but it's actually backfired. All it's showing is how little value you have for yourself, I think, and also people notice that. A person's integrity, for me, gains respect. So I would ask you, do you have a talent for acting and singing? Are you passionate about it? And if you are, then you will do your research, you'll network with people, you'll get yourself out there in the right way. So I would say for you, just start again, put what's happened, until now behind you, and go after what you want the right way. And when people see that passion and that talent that you have, I think things will be much different. And I know you might say to yourself, oh, but I've messed up already and I've got this reputation now. Well, now you have to start building a different reputation. It's not too late to do that. Once people see that you're, taking things seriously now, you're doing things the right way, that you really have that enthusiasm for what you're doing, that's when things will start coming your way. And the more you go out there and, people get to know you, the more, as we heard from Garth as well, the more that will come to you as well. So I would say, put the past behind you now and move forward in the right way. Chris, anything to add to that?
I totally agree, but also on top of that, it's just a vehicle to get to where she wants to get to. But the truth about it is, why does she want to do this? Why does she want to do this? Why is she substituting herself in this way to get to this point? No problem, have great goals at the end of the day, but there must be another reason why she wants to go for this, and it's causing so much pain at the same time.
Yeah, it is.
I think about it, work it out. It's funny that, I always say that's funny. Somebody said to me the other day, Chris, you know what, you always say that's funny, right? So I said, all right, then here we go. It's funny, right? Because talking about that's actually what I want to talk about, living a life of purpose, because saying that, if she actually knew the purpose behind this, why is she doing this and it's still not happening, and then, like I said, meeting other guys, trying to find a way and it's still not happening, I'm not saying that's the right way, but whatever she's doing, obviously there's another purpose behind this and she needs to know why. That would help. at the end of the day. Okay, now talking about that on this level, what I'm going to be talking about today is live a life of purpose. And I would actually advise everybody, if anybody's watching this right now, which I believe you are, so anybody watching this right now.
Of course they're watching.
Right. I'd say take notes on this. Take notes on this, record it, do it step by step, go through this, because this one will actually make a change in your life. I determine that in that way. Right. Now, saying this, what I'm talking about is live a life of purpose. Now, when we're talking about living a life of purpose, we're talking about, well, what do you really want to do? Much to what? It was Lorraine, yes?
Yeah, Lorraine, yeah.
What do you really want to do? Now, I'd say, back to the same thing I would say is brainstorm. Find out what you really want to do. But in trying to find out what you really want to do, what you need to do is, first of all, let me just come forward a bit, is stop thinking of the obstacles. Stop thinking of obstacles, the reason why you can't do it. Start thinking straight away, what do I really want to do? Why am I doing what I'm actually doing at the same time? Why have I set this purpose for this goal? Now, if you're not very clear with that already, we're going to go into that area which you mentioned earlier on, right? Meandering, here to there, to there, to there. So find out what you really want to do. We all had a childhood dream or something that we wanted to do, but sometimes it comes later in life where we start thinking of the obstacles instead and forget trying to actually go for it. So think about, what do I really want to do? Now, in saying that, what I advise you to do is number 2. Write a list out. Remember we did this last time? Yeah. Right? Write a wish list out. Get a wish list, write it out. 1 to 10, could be 1 to 5 or whatever. Just write them all out. Work out, well, what of these do I really want to do? Which one is going to come through for me? What do I believe? Now, in saying that, don't make your wish list hard. Don't make it difficult. Just keep it simple. Write it as it actually comes through. All the things that you really wanted to do. Okay? Right, now, we was talking about last time when you did something like 1 to 20 or something like that. Do you remember that time back then? Actually, funny enough, when I took that home, I actually went through it as well myself and thought, well, hang on, that one seems good, that one seems good. Yeah. So it's really important. Write a wish list. Let's go to number 3 on this. What purpose will it serve? Now, back to the same thing, it links in as well. What purpose will this goal, this dream that you're going for, what will it serve? Is it for your self-vanity? Is it going to serve you in a better person who you are, or is it to help others as well? What's your purpose behind this? You know, what's the reason why you're doing this? So I want you to actually jot these down as I'm actually going through it. Here we go. We're going to go to number 4 here. And what I will say, I've actually got notes myself which I actually made on this, is what actions must I take? What actions must I take to make this happen? So you've got to think about it. All right. Work out the actions you've got to take, then date them, write them down. What actions must I take? Date the time you can actually start them and work out which ones they are as well, okay?
And set yourself a deadline.
Set yourself a deadline.
If you don't, it's going to be going on for ages.
Very important, yes. That's why it's important, because we talk about actions we're going to take and say, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. Time goes on at the end of the day. And then you look back and think, well, one time I wanted to do that, but that time is gone. Happen, so very much what you said, set a deadline. Put a date near it as it goes down, okay? So we've gone from there. Let's talk about number 5. What information do I need? What sort of information do I need to help me on this journey? Now, I would say this, research. Research the information that you need to help you on that journey. And in doing that, we could talk about things that we wouldn't normally read, things we wouldn't normally look at. It's time to actually start reading information in the field you want to get up to. Make yourself knowledgeable. It's more powerful in that sense. You'll know what you're talking about, you know what you're going for. And also, on top of that, that whole purpose of going through, you might find out, well, now I've read up on it, now I've looked at it, maybe that's not for me, or maybe that is for me even more. You know, you're more knowledgeable, more powerful in that. Okay, so here we go. Who can actually help me with this goal? Who can actually help me with this goal? Who do you actually need to speak to? Who do you think will be able to help you along the way? And I'm not saying, which is one thing I can't stand, saying, well, that person knows that I need to speak to them because of this, that, and the other. I'm talking about being genuine, sincere. If that person can help you on it, just ask them. They might be a very generous person who can actually give you a lot of advice. Okay, similar to the thing what we do in sales is, all right, every no brings you closer to yes. So that person might not know, but they might know somebody else who does. Yeah. So I wouldn't leave that situation there. Ask them, well, do you know somebody else who will be able to help me in that field? right? Okay, so it's, like I said, it is a very good point, because many times we get a no and we actually walk away and think, oh, well, that's the end of it, let's forget about it. But that probably was the next yes was going to come after that. And that goes back to the same thing we was talking about, self-esteem and who we are, right? So don't be worried about the no's on that. And talking about that, the last one, but not the last one, is let's stop drifting. Yeah? Many times we actually drift. You need to go and do. Go ahead and actually do it. Now, taking that from there, as I deliberately said, this is the last one. No, if you actually recorded this, I actually want you to go back through each step and actually go through them one by one. And they can write through to you, couldn't they, Chrissy?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And tell you about the results they actually got from this, because this will make a difference. I'm not sitting here saying that. This will make a difference to living a life of purpose. You'll have more purpose behind what you do, you'll be more convicted in what you do, and it will come through.
Definitely, and I think it's really important, obviously, the last one, to actually do something and take the actions, because it all sounds ideal and it sounds like, you know, it's all going to work, but then if you don't take the appropriate action, and some things I want to link it to something that I asked Garth before as well, because some people wait to feel like doing something, and I think that's a big mistake that many people make, because maybe you feel a bit down in the dumps, or something's happened, like you've lost something in your life, and you're waiting to feel happy again before you actually go ahead and do something. That's the wrong way around. You need to put, like Garth said, you know, you need to push yourself to do something, even if you don't feel like it, even if you feel like staying in bed and being depressed and sad and crying, but push yourself, get out of bed, do something positive, go and, you know, take some kind of positive action. If you get a no, then like you're saying, try again. It's going to lead you to something else, but the important thing is don't stay still, don't stay stuck in that situation, but do something different, and it was going to bring a different result. Big difference. I'm glad you mentioned that about Garth as well, because I was listening over there, and it was that whole fact of getting up and doing. Now, earlier on I said, ask someone. He just asked the whole world. You asked him a question about his love life now, and he mentioned it. Just listening to me, you would think, oh, well, hang on, he's a really nice guy. There's somebody out there who's thinking he's a really nice guy. If he didn't put that out there, how would it work at the end of the day? So it was great, brilliant. Get up and do. Live a life of purpose. Definitely. Thank you so much, Chris. Okay, everybody, so we have reached the end of today's programme, and if you'd like to email me about anything, you can do so on chris@chrissybshow.tv, and also you can visit the website chrissybshow.tv. If you have a success story that you'd like to share as well, please also email me, because, you know, who knows, you might be sitting on this sofa with me very soon. It's been great to be here with you today, and we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye for now. Today we're at the David what? Today we're at Okay, so what does that include, Joanna? What we're going to do today?
We'll be serving them some tea, cakes, and we're having Frank Sinatra something.
Today we're at the Dr. French.
Yes.
Sorry.